Alright, so this video is all about slope. And slope is the steepness of a line. And we define it as m for some weird reason. And that's the change in the y values divided by the change in the x values. It's also known as the rise over the run. And and then also it's known as y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And I'd like to give you an example. And my example is the point. I'll do this in a different color here. So point A, that is negative 4 comma negative 3. And B, I'll put in green. That is the point 2 comma 5. So negative 4 negative 3 is negative 4 negative 3. It is right here, and that is point A. And then point B is 2 5. 2 5 is, oops, not there. It's right here, and that's point B. And I did my best to draw a straight line in between those two. So the slope would be the rise. So that is, how far did you go straight up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's up 8. And so my slope will be up 8. And it would be over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Up 8 and over 6. Now, that is definitely the slope. But I could simplify the fraction. I can divide both numbers by 2, and that would be 4 and 3. So I want to show you also that's the same thing as going up 4 and over 3. Up 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. 3. So when I do that, I'm on the line still. So if I go up 4 and over 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, I am on the line again. So that shows that these fractions are equal because it ends up being the same slope. Now, what I also want to do is I want to use this formula right here, y sub 2. How do you use the formula? Well, what you do is you make your fraction. And my fraction will be, I'll write it again, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So this would be these are the y values, and these are the x values right there. So this is the first point, so x sub 1, y sub 1, and the second point, x sub 2, y sub 2. So now we just plug in those numbers. We have 5 as y sub 2, so I'll put 5 there, and then I'll subtract y sub 1, which is, so that's y sub 2, and y sub 1 is here, so or negative 3, and I'll put negative 3 here. And then I have to put that over x sub 2. So this is x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So x sub 2 is 2, and x sub 1 is negative 4. So I'll put the 2 minus, and then negative 4 goes there. And then we would simply write it out. 5 minus negative 3, that's 8. And 2 minus negative 4 is 6. And notice we get exactly the same thing right here as here. So the formula is giving us that same answer. Now, this is known as a positive slope. And we know it's a positive slope because it goes up from left to right. I'll give you an example of a negative slope. All right, so this one goes down from left to right, and so this would be a negative slope. And to show you the exact calculations for that, m is the change in y over the change in x. So the change in the y is how far you're going straight down. So that means it's going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's down 6, so I'm going to make that a negative 6 over And then change in x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes to the right 6. And negative 6 divided by 6 is negative 1. So the slope is negative 1. And what that means is negative 1 is the same thing as, so I would just write the slope is negative 1. But negative 1, you could put 1 under anything. And so what this tells us is you go down 1 and over 1, down 1 and over 1, down 1 and over 1. You could just keep doing that, and that would replicate the same thing. Boy, that was sloppy. But how could we also do this with the formula? Well, let's call this point A and this one point B. So point A is negative 3, 5, and point B is 3 comma negative 1. And so then you just, if we say that this is the x and the y and the x and the y, and this is point 1 and this is point 2, then we would use our formula y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And so that would mean I would start off with negative 1 minus 5. So that would be negative 1 minus 5. And then that's over 3, right? Because if I take the x values, 3 minus negative 3. So that would be 3 minus negative 3. And oh, why did I do that in orange? It should have been blue. Oh well, wait. I'll do that again. 5 and negative 3. Hello. So now what we got is negative 1 minus 5 is negative 6, and 3 minus negative 3 is 6, and there you go. You get the same slope. This is exactly the same as doing that. So this just comes from the graph, and this is from the formula. And so that's equal to negative 1. Okay, now we got a couple of special cases. And my special cases will come from, let's see, I'll do this in blue. And let's say I have one point here and I have another point here. This is A and this is B. So what are the coordinates? This is negative 5, 3. And this is 1, 3. So if I look at the rise over the run, M, I'll just keep going with blue here. The change in the Y, well, what is the change in the Y values? I mean, you're not going up or down, so the change in the Y values is 0. And the change in the X values, well, that goes to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so that's 6. And 0 divided by 6 is 0, so this is called a 0 slope. And so that's a 0 slope. And I'll do this maybe in this reddish color. If I have point C here, and then I have point D here, and the point, this is negative 7 comma negative 3, and this is negative 7 comma negative 7. Okay, then the slope for that one is, well, the rise, let's say the rise, I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I go up 4, but to the right, I'm not going over at all. So this is known as undefined. You cannot divide by 0. You can't divide by 0. And to, just to make sense of this, 0 divided by 6 is 0 because how many 6s does it take to get to 0? It takes 0 of them, and 6 times 0 is 0. Okay, that's why that works. But here, how many zeros does it take to get to 4? Which also would mean 0 times what is 4? Well, 0 times anything is 0. You're never going to get to 4. So That's why this doesn't work. So anything divided by 0 is undefined. And so those are the four slopes that you got to know for like most of math. That's it.